Guys, I have attended my first ever puzzle marathon, and yes, it wasn't a 24-hour one, but rather just a 10-hour one, but still it's a completely different experience to anything that I have experienced so far. So this video is gonna be a bit of a mixture between a vlog and a recap, so it's gonna be something in between, so a bit of BTS stuff, going through all the puzzles that appeared at the competition with some statistics. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail because what I wanted to really share in this video is more of an experience and how puzzle marathons even look like, because I had no idea what to expect, and you know, now I know. So if anyone's ever wondering if they want to go to a puzzle marathon, I think this video is going to include all the information that you need to know in order to, you know, maybe make your decision. So of course I'm gonna start with the vlog section. In all honesty, I had no idea what to expect, because usually when I saw stories from other 24-hour marathons and stuff like that, it usually happened in a warehouse. So when we got there and the venue was really nice, I was actually like, okay, this is better than I expected. And there were so many people that I knew. Of course, a lot of German people that I've never met before, but there were so many friends that I know from the Worlds and other competitions. But what I do have to say is that I was surprised how much less mingling there was at the marathon than usually what I'm used to at the Worlds. And I think because you puzzle for so many hours and then you have a short break and you just have to go to the loo, get some food, so you don't really have time to talk to other people because you're always checking the time and waiting to go back in, trying to see how your team is doing, you know, trying to encourage them a little bit. So from that sense, I would say that I missed that a little bit, but marathon itself was so much fun. There was literally no stress, no pressure. I mean, I'm sure some people do experience it, especially the top ones, because they actually have a chance to win. But for us, that we knew that we are not going to make the podium, it was really relaxed, because it didn't really matter which placement we get, but it was more about having fun with your friends and puzzling together. I was also invited to be a guest on a live stream, and majority of the live stream was done in German, so there was only a few sections when it was done in English. So of course I don't speak German, so I got the English part of the live stream, and that was so much fun, and it was really good because they had all the statistics done. Now again, I don't know how it is in other marathons because I've never attended one before now, and the statistics for the live stream were just insane. And even now, if you go check the results, it's like you can immediately see how long someone spent on a puzzle, and you've got everything listed on there. The puzzles are marked in specific colors, so you know exactly who's done what and how long it took them, and it's really nice because you immediately get the visuals. So if you do want to see the detailed results, I'm gonna link the website in the description box below, so you can just go check it out for yourself. This is gonna be sort of like a recap, but I'm not gonna go into great detail because then this video would be like hours long, because there's just so many puzzles and so many statistics to cover. So there was a limit of 6 people per team, and out of those 6 people, 4 people could puzzle at any given point. And then every team made their own schedule of how they want to switch. So some people, they do it on like every half an hour, but my team did it in pairs because we came in pairs. So we made blocks of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and then we kept swapping in pairs. So we kind of have longer chunks to puzzle, but then we also had longer breaks because of that. I think it's good to have a bit longer chunks of puzzling because it takes you a while to get into it, especially if you get in the middle of a new puzzle and you need to learn the image and all of that. So it takes time to get in. So in that sense, I would prefer to puzzle a bit longer, but 320 was a bit much to me. So I think the maximum chunk for puzzling for me from now on would be 2.5 hours in one go. So it means that we would have to switch every 1 hour and 15 minutes or something like that. But as I mentioned, every team does their own thing. For instance, the puzzle marauders, there were only 4 of them, so they puzzled for 10 hours, but you know, I couldn't do that because my back would just kill me. Let's move on to the puzzles now. I just wanted to talk a little bit about every puzzle that we got, how I felt about them, which one I even puzzled, because obviously I didn't puzzle all of them, and how difficult I think they were. And of course, because there was 6 people in a team and we got 13 puzzles, there was 2 puzzles each, and because Blanche was with me, I get 4 puzzles. So proud of that. And I have no space. I have been selling so many puzzles, but I keep bringing new ones home, and oh my god, I literally have no space. I need to keep selling more. Anyway, we've got Vinted in Slovenia now, which is brand new. So I think I'm gonna start putting my puzzles on there so I can just get rid of them as soon as possible, because I'm genuinely running out of space. So I'm like, I'm even scared to attend any competition so I don't get any more puzzles. Okay, enough blabbering now. Let's move on to the first puzzle of the competition. The first puzzle is a 500-piece puzzle by Clementoni, and the title of this one is The Old Shoe House. My teammates were really happy when this puzzle came out because 2 of them have already done it, so they were really excited. They knew the textures and all of that, so it was a lot easier for them to sort. So me and Blaj were puzzling when they were sorting pieces for us mainly. So it came together really quickly, so we were really happy about that. And obviously it was like a nice way to ease you into the marathon with the 500-piece puzzle. And honestly, I was a bit unsure about having 500 pieces for a team of 4, because obviously there's 8 hands on a small puzzle, but actually there were so many specific sections that we weren't in a way of each other like at any given time. And I told you that I'm not gonna go through the statistics heavily because there is no point, it's too much of them, but I will give you some stuff. So the best time on this puzzle was 12 minutes and 30 seconds. The average time was 25 minutes and 36 seconds. And we did really well, beating the average time with 18 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we moved on to puzzle number 2, which was a 1000-piece puzzle by Pazzi, and the title of this one was Cute Whiskers. Now, as soon as I saw this puzzle, I immediately was like, oh my god, this is so busy. And also, I have never actually done Pazzi before. I just helped with one that was already, you know, almost done. And one thing that stuck with me is that they only have standard shapes, which is not ideal because you know that I like my shapes because I look by shapes a lot. I do have to say though that the prongs are very specific, so from that sense it was easy to know what you're looking for, and I didn't really have any problems with misfits. But it was difficult because there was no way, like you couldn't shape sort or anything like that, which is absolutely something that I love to do, as you know. So from that sense I was a little bit struggling because there wasn't that extra help that would help you solve the puzzle. But I think once we got into it, like in the beginning it looked really busy and it's like, what do you even pick? But then when we were eliminating stuff out from it, it just became easier and easier to find what you're looking for, and also you kind of learn the colors and textures, so that really helped. So I do have to say that at the end of the day I did kind of enjoy that puzzle, even though it's not something that I would pick for myself. And also because there was 8 hours of puzzling, I didn't film any of the time lapses because I thought it would just be too much. Now I'm thinking that probably you would have wanted to see something, but that's why we've got the live stream, so I can just give you clips of puzzling. So I do apologize about not having any of the time lapses, but you know, it was just a bit too long and I didn't want to think about the camera as well, especially when the tables were so close together, and I didn't want it to be in a way of like people walking around or puzzling. Now the best time for this puzzle is 39 minutes and 2 seconds. Average time is 1 hour, 21 minutes and 59 seconds. And of course, we also smashed this puzzle with 1 hour, 1 minute and 6 seconds. Now we are moving on to puzzle number 3, which is a 1000-piece puzzle by PuzzleYOU. And the title of this one is Willkommen in Aschheim. So this is the puzzle that was specifically designed for this competition, so no one was able to practice this puzzle or see it before. And actually I didn't have a choice to puzzle this puzzle because we literally just started it, we did some of the sorting, and then it was my time to change because I was in the first group, so we did like 1 hour and 40 puzzling and then we had a break. This puzzle was not finished by me, so I can't really say how difficult it was. I think they've done a really good job. I think that the sections were good, and I saw that there was like separations with lines, and I have no idea how they actually tackled the puzzles, but I was like, I hope they did the lines first because it would make it easier to find the middle sections. But yeah, I think they did really well. So let's see the results. The best time was 37 minutes and 30 seconds. The average time was 1 hour, 23 minutes and 20 seconds. And our time was 1 hour, 1 minute and 27 seconds. Puzzle number 4 is the 1000-piece puzzle by Heye, and the title of this one is Pens Are My Friends, Doodle Village. This is one of the puzzles that I actually have, and I have no idea why I took it. Blush picked it because he likes busy images and then he lets me puzzle them. So I don't know if I'm actually gonna tackle this puzzle again because I was actually part of finishing this puzzle, because when they pulled this puzzle out after finishing the last one, I was actually live streaming, and when I saw the puzzle I was like, oh my god, please please, please, please let them finish the puzzle before my break ends, because this puzzle is just absolutely not my type of puzzle. One thing that I can say was helpful is that we have some people on it, or like monsters or something like that. So if you saw the feet, you knew which direction the pieces turned, but that's about it. Like, it was a really difficult puzzle for me. I do think that this puzzle is so fun to do, especially like, you know, leisurely, not a speed puzzling. But yeah, I think still that we've done quite well. It was interesting to get in halfway through because it took me a while. Like, I was like, Stein, where does this go? Where does this go? Where does that go? It's like, ugh, so many details, but we managed. So the fastest time for puzzle number 4 was 1 hour, 7 minutes and 15 seconds. The average time was 2 hours, 20 minutes and 7 seconds. And our time was 1 hour, 49 minutes and 31 seconds. So again, we did really well on another puzzle. Puzzle number 5 is a 1000-piece puzzle by Schmidt, and the title of this one is Knee and Turtle. One thing about marathons that is different to just going to a normal speed puzzling competition is when you're on a break, you're able to wander around the room and see which puzzles are coming up. And of course, because the more puzzles you do, the bigger the gap between the teams, because I think the first 3 puzzles we were quite, like, the entire room almost was on the same puzzle, but then the further up you went, there's like people went 2 puzzles ahead of us, 3, 4 puzzles ahead, you know? So before I even went back from my break, I already saw this puzzle. So I was so looking forward for the puzzle to come out. And I do have to say that maybe it was a little bit more difficult than I expected, but the image was so beautiful that I didn't really care that it's difficult. And I like my sections, and this was actually be able to solve in sections, which I cannot say for the last puzzle, because that was literally like, find a piece, find where it goes and just place it there, you know? So it was pick and place method, when with this one it was like sorting was done straight from the beginning. Me and Blanche did the sorting, took one pile and started to work on that pile. So I really enjoyed this puzzle. The best time for this puzzle was 45 minutes and 3 seconds. The average time was 1 hour, 23 minutes and 49 seconds. And our time was 1 hour, 23 minutes and 52 seconds. So we hit the exact average on this puzzle. Puzzle number 6 is a 1000-piece puzzle by Ulmer Puzzleschmiede, and the title of that one is Traum-Kuh-lisse. I'm sure that I completely butchered the name of the brand and the puzzle, but you know, it's all in German and I don't know how to speak it, so there's that. That puzzle was like, again, you could see the puzzles there coming up, and I wasn't looking forward to that puzzle because, well, at first I thought it was a 500-piece puzzle and I was like, okay, this is cute. It kind of reminded me of the ones that they were at the Worlds, you know, the buffaloes or something like that. I was like, okay, this is gonna be cute to solve. And then we pulled the puzzle out of the box and I was like, oh my god, this is 1000-piece puzzle. It was horrible. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't that difficult to assemble, but I didn't finish it, so I don't know how much they struggled at the end. But it was just in the beginning when all the pieces were lying there, everything was blurry. It was really difficult to sort. But then you somehow just managed to put the pieces in and there was no misfit. So the quality of the brand was good. So I was like, okay, this is not too bad. So, you know, we kept going with it and we kind of, well, I almost finished the puzzle. I had 3 hours 20 puzzling together in one chunk, and I literally finished just when there was a little bit of the sky left and some trees. So I don't know how much longer it took them because we went to get some food. But yeah, obviously they managed to finish. But the question is how long it took them to do so. The best time for this puzzle was 45 minutes and 4 seconds. The average time was 1 hour, 14 minutes and 34 seconds. And our result was 1 hour, 12 minutes and 13 seconds. So it was just 2 minutes quicker than the average. Puzzle number 7 is a 1000-piece puzzle by Trefl, and the title of this one is Midnight in Rome. Now again, another puzzle that I didn't assemble at all. I think this is probably the first puzzle that I didn't even touch, because sometimes you get the front, sometimes you get the back, you know, but sometimes you get the whole puzzle. And this one, yeah, I didn't even touch that puzzle. So I have no idea how difficult it was. I can only say that I like the image. It was very similar to the one we did in Budapest on the European Championship. So I would kind of enjoy it, but still it was quite a busy image, so I didn't mind not puzzling it. And I do kind of wish that like the puzzles weren't that busy, but I do understand because it's an international competition. It's a different level, you know, because if we did a marathon in Slovenia, I'm sure that we would pick puzzles that are a lot easier and a lot less busy because it would make people enjoy it more, because you don't want to spend like 2 hours on one puzzle, you know. But yeah, anyway, enough blabbering. I don't have much to say about this puzzle, so let's just see the results. The best time was 36 minutes and 38 seconds. Average was 1 hour and 44 seconds. And my team got 1 hour and 51 seconds. So basically, again, the average. Moving on to puzzle number 8, which is a 1000-piece puzzle by Heye Puzzle. And the title of this one is Timekeeper, Be the Sunrise. Well, this was fun. Not. I kind of came in just in the beginning of the puzzle. Like, I was watching my team when they opened the puzzle and I was just like, can you just, you know, at least do the sorting so when I join in I've got a pile, so I don't have to do that, because I've been doing a lot of sorting this year, so I'm kind of over it a little bit. But when I got in, basically the woman was done. Mostly it was just the background, well, some of the blue pieces left in the background, but the background wasn't as easy, and I thought, okay, I've got these lines, it's not gonna be too bad. But really there was quite a lot of sorting that was still able to be done. So we basically just finished, well, what I was puzzling, just the background really. So all I can say is that was quite difficult because we actually had so many black pieces. And maybe the only thing that I would say is this puzzle would be better more at the beginning, because there was like some pieces that was completely pitch black, and then some pieces had some lines going through them, but because it was so much later, they had to turn the lights on at that point and it was reflecting a little bit, so it was so difficult to see those colors going through. So I would maybe for next time, if it's like a darker puzzle, I would put it, you know, as a second, third puzzle when you still have a daylight, because obviously winter time, like it's not even 3 p.m. and there's basically no daylight left. I mean, to be fair, it is completely overcast and it's gonna be raining for a whole week, so that doesn't help. But like 4 o'clock you're out of light, you know. So this is one thing that definitely I would take into consideration when planning a marathon, just to put the darker images a bit more towards the front because of the light reflection. Best time for this puzzle was 58 minutes and 9 seconds. Average time was 1 hour 23 minutes and 40 seconds, and our result was 1 hour 43 minutes and 23 seconds. So we absolutely did not smash this puzzle. Now, puzzle number 9 is a 1000-piece puzzle by Schmidt, and the title of this one is Victorianisches Gewachshaus. So this was the last puzzle that we actually opened, and we knew from the get-go that we are not going to be able to finish the puzzle because we opened it half an hour before the end of time. Well, before the end of the marathon. I was doing the frame and I was like, is there even any point of me assembling the frame completely, you know, because it just wastes space on the table and then we have to shuffle pieces around and it's gonna take longer. So basically I assembled the whole frame in chunks of minimum of 3 pieces and then just put it aside, like I wasn't bothered about completing the frame. And then we were literally just taking pieces out and trying to assemble as much as we can by chunks. So we didn't even bother to like trying to create an image or do the sorting or anything like that. And I think it was actually a really good technique because we managed to get quite a few pieces in, so I was really proud of us. But yeah, it was definitely a funny way of puzzling I've never done before. So the best time for this puzzle was 42 minutes and 47 seconds. The average time was 56 minutes and 3 seconds, and it was only solved by 17 teams. And we managed to put in 379 pieces. Moving on to puzzle number 10, which is a 1000-piece puzzle by Trefl, and the title of this one is Wolverine. Now this is the puzzle that I really wanted to do, even though I expected that we are not gonna really get there, but it's just something about it because I really like Wolverine. It's one of my favorite X-Men, so I kind of wanted to do it because of that. But I think it was a really difficult image, so I'm kind of happy that we didn't get to it because I'm sure that it would be quite frustrating to assemble. The best time for this puzzle was 49 minutes and 6 seconds. The average time was 1 hour, 2 minutes and 29 seconds, and it was solved by 9 teams. Puzzle number 11 is a 1000-piece puzzle by Heye Puzzle, and the title of this one is by Cart, Freedom Deluxe. Now this is a puzzle that we were kind of all hoping to get because, you know, it was really fun and colorful and you were able to sort sections out and all of that. But of course it was so far down the line that unfortunately we didn't get to it. But I do think that like more fun puzzles like that with bigger chunks of the same color would be useful, especially for people who are not that experienced in speed puzzling. So yeah, that's why I would definitely love that puzzle. But again, I didn't assemble it, so possibly it could be a lot worse than it actually looks. So I'm not gonna say that it would be super simple or anything like that, but let's see what the results say. The best time for this puzzle was 44 minutes and 19 seconds, and the average time was 53 minutes and 42 seconds, and it was solved by 7 teams only. You can actually see how the average time is getting shorter and shorter because all of the fast teams make it through the puzzles, but then the slower teams don't make it through the puzzles. That's why it was more difficult for us as well to beat the average time the further up we went, because all of the slower teams kind of already fell out or like didn't manage to assemble the puzzle, so the average kept going down. So then we automatically had to cross on the other side at some point. Up next is a 1000-piece puzzle by PuzzleYOU, and the title of this one is Hausgemachte, weihnachtliche, Lebkuchenmännchen auf Holztisch. This was probably the most difficult sentence that I ever had to say on my channel, so I do apologize about that because I'm sure that like no German people understand what I just said. But this is one of the puzzles that was also at the competition and I actually absolutely loved it. Like I wouldn't speed puzzle it because I think it would absolutely kill me because it's just basically it's just 3 colors, you know, you've got the white, you got the brown, you've got some green and some red and some blue, but mainly it's basically just the wood background, then you've got the ginger biscuits and then you've got the icing and that's it. But it's just such a Christmassy puzzle and I cannot wait to do it because I know that I'm gonna do it. There's one thing about PuzzleYOU puzzles that maybe you're not aware of, but I kind of already covered, well, did I mention that in the video? I know I talked to Alejandro about it, but you know his first puzzle Summer Pieces that has got the sea, you know, and then it's got a bit of a shine. So anything that's got darker colors actually has a little bit of shine to it. So the entire puzzle is matte and then you have these little shines in the puzzle. And also the other puzzle that we did from PuzzleYOU that was designed for this competition specifically also had some shiny sections. And actually the only thing that I assembled was like the roof and some of the building, and the roof was completely matte and then the rooftop tiles had like this darker section on them, so they were like a little shiny, so it looked really good. And I'm just hoping that that's going to be the case with this puzzle. That's why I'm really looking forward to assembling it because it just gives this extra thing to the puzzle. Like if the entire puzzle is reflective, it's like you don't want to do that. But this, like the entire puzzle is completely matte, but only like the darker sections of the puzzles have a little bit of reflection. So I'm really looking forward to putting this one together. Best time for this puzzle was 1 hour 29 minutes and 58 seconds, and the average time is 1 hour 33 minutes and 21 seconds, and it was only solved by 2 teams. Okay, maybe I changed my mind now, because if the fastest teams that have been solving puzzles in, you know, under 1 hour have taken 1.5 to finish this one, I already know that it's gonna be difficult. But again, when you're not speed puzzling, it's a completely different story, because leisure puzzling, you know, it doesn't matter if it takes you a week. Like, I have the whole December, so I can just assemble this puzzle whenever I want. It can literally take me a whole month and I can just put Harry Potter in the background and assemble the puzzle. But yeah, I am a little bit more worried about it now. And the last puzzle of the event was a 1500-piece puzzle by Clementoni, and the title of this one is Sanse Chance. Again, no idea what the title is. I think I should have probably googled all the puzzles separately, because I just went from their website, because majority of the titles were translated in English. So I thought probably if this one doesn't have a translation is because one does not exist, but I have no idea what that was either. So I'm really happy that they left the 1500-piece puzzle as the last puzzle of the day, because they knew that majority of the people are not gonna get there, because I wouldn't want to do a 1500-piece puzzle in the middle of the day because it would just be too much, I think. So none of the teams finished this puzzle because only 2 teams actually started it, and then we ran out of time, so there is literally no statistics for this puzzle. But yeah, these are basically all the puzzles from the events. So I have to say that I've really enjoyed the marathon. I'm kind of looking into going to a 24-hour one, but ideally would be like in a 5-hour driving range because it makes it so much easier for me. Because I can just do it in one day, the same as with this one. We literally drove up, stayed the night, puzzled all day, and then returned the same day after the competition. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to another marathon because it was a completely different experience. As I mentioned, there was literally no stress. It was just puzzling all day with your friends. And it was honestly so insane to see how big of a gap was created the further along we went. Because I said in the beginning, we were all on the third puzzle, you know, and then all of a sudden we were on puzzle number 5 and people were on puzzle number 8. And you were just like, what happened? We were literally next to each other a minute ago. But I really like the system with marathons because you really get to get the average out of every team, you know, because sometimes one puzzle is good for them, but then the other one is not going to be that good. And, you know, it just makes a difference, especially if you practice some puzzles or not, and then it can just kind of even out the playing field. So the third place got the Puzzle Marauders with 11,148 pieces. Second came Rainbow Puzzlers with 11,511 pieces. And the first was a team called Puzzling Through the Back Pain with 11,851 pieces. And we got 20th with 7,879 pieces. I was really happy with our results. We were kind of aiming to be in the top half, which I think we smashed that because we were in the top third. So we were really proud of that. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to going to the next marathon. I do kind of wish that there was a little bit easier puzzles or like a few more 500-piece puzzles so it would break the 1,000 pieces a little bit up. But I do understand because the level of speed puzzlers is so high, they have to do that. Otherwise, we would have to go through 25 puzzles. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you enough information in case you're wondering if you wanted to go to a marathon or not. But I would say just go and try it once. Like, I'm sure there's going to be one close to you because they're doing them all across Europe, and I'm sure they do some in other continents as well. So I can honestly tell you, if you're scared to going to a speed puzzling competition, go to a marathon. Because it's so much, like, I'm not gonna say more enjoyable, it's completely different, but it's completely stress-free. Because you just puzzle for designated time and that's it. And however much you assemble, and there is literally no pressure on anything. So yeah, if you're worried about going to a speed puzzling competition, maybe it's best to start with the marathon. And since we are talking about marathons, I'm gonna teach you how to say marathon in Slovenian today. And this is gonna be probably the easiest thing that I teach you, because literally marathon in Slovenia is marathon. So it's basically the same. You just don't do the like th sound, you just do t, you know. So ma-ra-ton. Ma-ra-ton. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's gonna, you know, maybe convince you to try to attend the marathon, because it is a lot easier than going to a speed puzzling competition. So don't be scared, it's just about spending time with your friends. It's just fun puzzling, let's just call it that. Marathon, aka fun puzzling. Maybe it gave you this little nudge to try marathons as well, especially if you don't like to do speed puzzling in general because it's too stressful for you. Marathon is literally the perfect starting point. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, I would really appreciate if you can like and subscribe. And of course, I'm gonna see you next time. Bye!